Hey guys, welcome back. We got a project we're working on here today. We're in the garage. We got a lot of new subscribers. A lot of you have seen us doing the outdoor stuff, all the hiking and things like that. Today, we're doing a project. We're working in the garage. We're painting a new vehicle. You've seen the Adventure Wagon in a lot of the videos. It's a black Honda Element. We've got a new one. This one's blue. It'd been wrecked, but it's got a whole lot less miles. It's going to get us in a lot more adventures. So we're working on that. I'll flip you around and let you see what we're doing. Okay, so this is the hood. The car, I believe it had hit a deer. We'd already painted and put a new fender on it. Now the hood has come in. We got our first coat of paint on the hood. I primered it last night. It dried. I sanded it down this morning. And then now we've got one layer of coat, one layer of paint. So you can see it's not real dark. And there's some striping, where we overlap. But so far it's looking really nice. And this is a pearl paint. You've probably seen in the previous videos we did the COVID Camaro. It was a brown metallic paint. If you haven't watched that video, I'll put the link down in the description for you. You can go back and check that out. It was a lot of fun. But this one is a Honda Element, and it's in a midnight blue, and it's pearl paint. Pearl's a little bit tricky, so we're having a little fun with it. I'll catch you up with the still shots of what we've done so far, and then we'll come back and we'll put our final coat on it, and then we'll start assembling everything. Okay guys, full disclosure here, I am not a professional. This is a garage paint job. There's not a paint booth. I don't even have a fan on. At this point, I've just got the garage door open. And we got it warmed up today. It got up to about 60 degrees. That's good enough. I didn't pay a whole lot for this vehicle. It's going to be going through the woods on lots of adventures, things like that. It's going to get chips. Like I said, it had been in a wreck. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's going to look nice. So what we're doing right now is I'm mixing the paint, and I will show you my cup here in a little bit. But this is pretty important. The cup is marked. What I'm doing is a 2-to-1 ratio, and it's got markings on it to get me to that 2-to-1. So I fill it up to the 4 and I stop right there. The paint's not cheap. I mean, this is a cheap paint job, but the paint itself is a little bit pricey. But all together in this paint job, with the fender and the hood and the paint, I'm gonna have under $1,000 in this. Now I'm running this one up. This is my reducer. This makes the paint a little bit thinner so that it sprays nice, lays down nice and even. So it's 3 parts. It's paint, reducer, and hardener. That's my reducer. In the COVID Camaro video, a lot of people ask if I really did it myself, because I didn't do any actual video of me painting the car. Now we'll pour the hardener in until it's up to the 4, just like that. So I thought I'd show you a little bit of how I paint a car. Now we're going to stir it up really, really good. Get all the hardener. There's not a whole lot of hardener in it, so I want to make sure that that gets mixed in evenly so that it all is the same hardness. All right, I know there's a lot of guys that paint cars that are professionals, and they're going to see me do this and see mistakes I made. Feel free to comment. I'll take all the advice I can get. I got my gun right here. I'm just going to pour it in. I've got screen filters and I've used them. All I've ever found is that wastes a lot of paint. Again, this is not a car show paint job. This is a garage paint job with the door open. There's stuff floating around in here. All right, now I got quite a bit of paint on me that time. Normally I don't do that. I've already been over it once, so I know the pattern that I'm gonna do. Got my respirator on. Okay. I'll hook up my air and I'm gonna give you a better view. Okay, so there's after the second coat, and it is going to take one more coat. You can see where it's a little darker and then lighter and then darker, where the layers overlapped. It just wasn't perfectly smooth. But right now it's looking really, really slick. You can see my reflection is really nice. It's really coming out good. Now what I want to do is I want to keep it this layers like this, because if you get it too heavy in one spot, that pearl will puddle together and you'll see blotches of silver in there. So we're just going to let it sit the way it is now, dry a little bit more, and we'll come back and we'll hit it with another coat here before too long. I wish you could, the camera just doesn't do justice, that pearl coming out of that, the shine in that. But so far it's looking really nice. And then eventually you could probably see those little bitty spots, like there's one right there. And that's going to buff out when it's all good and dry this summertime. We'll hit it with the buffer and it'll be nice and slick. All right, so I just got the final coat on. You can see now I did get all the stripes out, but if you look at the reflection, it's not quite as slick as it was. And I've had this problem in the past. I get that coat kind of light. I'm going a little faster to try to even it out, and it just doesn't lay as heavy, I guess. I'm not sure. It doesn't look as wet. But overall, it still looks really nice. All the stripes are gone now. I just finished painting it and I cleaned up my tools over there. You can see I got a lot of specks of dust in there, and that's just a casualty of doing it in your garage. But it's gonna dry. This summer we'll buff them specks out of there, and for what we got in it, it's gonna look really nice. So what we'll do is we'll close the doors up, we'll get some heat on it, let this dry tonight. We're gonna get the car in here, and tomorrow we'll start assembling, putting the plastic back on. We'll put this hood on and we'll wrap it up. Okay, so I got the hood mounted. Like this side, this channel nice and even all the way up. This side took a little bit of adjustment. I got it about as good as I can get it. And then right here, the fenders, I got it lining up pretty good now. That was one that I had to work on. Actually, I had to just bend these down a little bit. But so far, I got the hood on. I think it looks really good. You can see a good reflection in there, so nice and clear. Now what we got to do is get our plastic on. Okay, quick little update. Got the plastic fenders on now. Take you around and show the other side. Looks just like the other side. So there's that. Looking a little better. Starting to look like an element. Now one thing I want to do, you can see that wire right there, that goes to the horn. I need to figure out a horn and get that wired up before I get the other plastic on. So I'm gonna work on that next. Okay, so previously some wing nut had the grill held in with drywall screws. So I felt like that ruined and it had some missing pieces here. So we bought a new one, and I got the new one installed in the front clip. It went in really easy. I don't know why you wouldn't buy these plastic clips, but for some reason drywall screws worked better for them. Now what we're going to do is they had some type of light, I guess, mounted in here where the fog lights go. We got some missing tabs. This piece was cut out. I took my plastic welder and I patched that up. It looks pretty good from the outside. Now what I got to do is I got to cut this out and figure out how. I bought new fog lights. We're going to take these apart and figure out how to get these mounted in. So we'll get those mounted in, and then we'll put the front clip on. You can kind of see it over there. We'll get that put on, and we're getting close to being done. Okay, so I got one mounted in there, and I cut out. I'll show you what I did. I cut this part out, okay? And then I riveted them in there. So we'll wire them here in a little bit. We got to do the other side. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of this piece to weld in that where they cut out that side over there. Try to make that. I don't know that it's going to show. Let me flip it up. We'll have a look at it and see if it's going to even matter. Well, okay. So you can kind of see where I did it. Yeah, I think I'm going to weld that in there and kind of make that look a little better. But then we'll get this cut out, get the other one mounted, and then we'll start the wiring. All right, so I got the outside of that one welded in, and it looks pretty good from the outside. So we'll do a little bit of work on the inside, and then we will mount that light. All right, so I got the inside welded in, and it doesn't, I mean, it looks like crap to be honest, but the light's going to cover most of it. And the main focus of getting that in there to cover that hole is to keep bugs and stuff from piling up in there, because you'll get a lot of bugs, and it will keep water out, so it won't have an electrical issue probably. Snow is another thing, but we got the hole plugged is the main thing. I don't think anybody's going to notice it other than me, and then you guys if you make it this far in the video. But there it is. Now we will mount the light. Okay guys, got it all wrapped up. I'll give you a walk around and let you see what we did. All right, so we got the fog lights mounted in there and everything. It looks really good. So you can see where I did the welding. That's what we showed you last, but you really don't see it. It's pretty well hidden. So I can live with that. Now for the big things, we got the hood on there. Got it sitting out here in the sun baking, and the pearl's really popping. I think it looks great. The fenders match. Fender and the hood matches great. And when you come over here to the original paint, I can tell, and you guys probably can too, that the original is a shade lighter than the new paint. So what that is that's probably that third coat I had to put on, just give it a little more darkness and hit it. But I mean, it's really, really close. Most people are never going to know if they don't watch this video. You can kind of tell right there where the sun's hitting it pretty good that that's lighter than that is. But as you move across, it looks really good. And then out of the sun, so the door's original, out of the sun, it's nearly impossible to tell. And they both shine pretty good. So what I did was I went and buffed all the original paint all the way around, really brought the shine out. Looks really good. You can probably see on the door there, I got a ding in it, and there's another one here as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a hail damage kit and try to get where I can maybe just pop that out. And then if that don't work, I will do some more body work and paint that. Got an emblem ordered. It's not in yet, but we'll get that done. Got it all shined up and detailed. And I'm just really happy with it. For no more than I got in it, this is going to take us on a lot of adventures. So this one's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed watching it. We look forward to seeing you on more of our videos. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We'd love to get to that 300 mark. We're inching in on it. We just need a few more. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.